Now let's get started with the question number 15. So in the question number 15, they are talking about a paint can. So let me take into the right side. Okay, they are talking about a spray paint can, which is containing the paint and the solvent. The both are liquids. Can also contains a ball bearing. Okay, so they are asking about the Stokes law applies as the ball bearing moves through the paint. So this is a very famous question. They are asking what is the condition for Stokes law to apply. Okay, so we know the very first thing is, so since they're asking for 2 points, we can write about two things. One thing is like the object being, small and spherical. So, let's write that. The object, must be small and spherical. So even if we just write the spherical, they usually give the marks, but why to take a risk? So let's write both. And the second one is we have to say, this flow. Let's talk about the flow. The flow must be laminar. So we know the flow must be laminar. So what's the meaning of a laminar flow is that means the fluid flows in a smooth parallel layers around the object with no turbulence. That's the meaning of that laminar. So that means there is no turbulence occurs. Okay, now let's move to the B part. The Stokes law applies as the ball bearing moves through the paint at a constant velocity, okay, which has a constant velocity, and which means, so the constant velocity indirectly means that there is no acceleration. So it's moving a distance of this in the time of this. So you have to calculate the viscous drag. Okay, so there are a lot of information given here. So let's go with the calculations. So first of all, we can find the terminal velocity. So let's write the terminal velocity. To go to the terminal velocity, we can use S equals ut plus half at squared. But we know here the a is 0. Because of that, this part we can cut off. S equals ut. So in the u, so u in the sense of, if we subject the velocity, it will be s divided by t, which is our distance is 0. It's a 5 cm. So what I would recommend is cent is -2, so it's 5.6 into 10 to the power -2 divided by time taken is 1.3 seconds. This is in meters. So we got the answer, the terminal velocity. We will get 0.043 meters per second. So we have the terminal velocity now. Once we got the terminal velocity, we can apply the Stokes law, which is, if I write the equation, it's F equals, we know how to use it. So F equals 6 I, and what we have is we're going to have the radius and the mu and the other one. So let's see whether we have all the information. Yes, we do. This are V. Okay, so we have 6, which we know. We have pi. Do we have this value? Yes, that is given in the viscosity is given on top, so which is 0.15. The radius, They have given us a radius rate as well, but it is in millimeters, so we have to convert in our answer into 10 to the power negative 3. Then the terminal velocity, which is the answer that you got from this, from the previous part, is 0.043. So once we get everything, we're going to get the force, which is 1.09 into 10 to the power negative 4. Make sure put the units, so which is the crack force. This is a pretty straightforward calculation, so that's what we're gonna our final answer. Now let's go to the C part. Now they're talking about the C part. When a can is shaken, a ball bearing moves. Yeah, so that will help you to kind of mix the stuff properly. So this must be easy. So as we know, at the condition at terminal velocity, let's go. So this causes the paint and this thing. Find the viscosity of the mixture is different from the viscosity of the paint. So this is a piece of information important. The viscosity in the mixture is different than the viscosity of the paint. The ball bearing falls through the mixture at a terminal velocity. So we know this thing is coming with the terminal velocity. Calculate the viscous gas due to the mixture on the ball bearing. Okay, this is also kind of a good answer, but here what we can do is, okay, now we have to again calculate the viscous drag, but here the mu is not given, so this is not given, so we can't use the strokes so easily here. So we have to think of an alternative way. So we know, since they are telling that it is on a terminal velocity, we know to be at terminal velocity what we have to get is, it has to be balanced. So all the forces has to be balanced. So if we consider the equilibrium condition at terminal velocity, once we have it, so let's think about the forces acting on this. One is the viscous drag, the another one is weight, which is downwards, upwards, which is upthrust, which is in the upward direction. So by these forces only, this is getting balanced. So we know I'm like, all these forces are coming into play. So we can write all the upward forces equals to all the downward forces. So downward forces is our weight, upward forces is going to be our upthrust plus the viscous drag, so which is like resisting the motion. So if I want to find the F straight, so which is W minus U. Now if you separately find the weight and the upthrust, so that's what where you have your final answer is for. So getting the weight is quite straightforward. So the mass of the ball bearing is given. So because of that, we can easily go for the weight. So weight is not an issue, but let's try to do the upthrust. So let's write that viscous force stuff later. So W is straightforward. We know W equals mg. M is given and G is something known because we are on the earth. So pretty easy with the weight. So upthrust. Visually we know the upthrust can be calculated by the weight of the displaced paint. So it will be the weight of the displaced whatever displaced, we can call it paint or whatever the mixture or something. Okay, so to get the weight, we know we need to get the volume of the ball bearing. So once we have the volume of the ball bearing, we can go for that. To get the displaced amount, let's go with the volume. So I'll go one by one. The volume of the, the bearing, which is the metal, that would be, since it's a sphere, we have to use the volume equation as 4 divided by 3 pi r to the power cube. So with that, we will have an answer 4 divided by 3 times pi, and our radius of the ball bearing is given 0.9 into 10 to the power negative 3 to the power 3. Okay, so once we get this answer, we are getting our answer as 3.05 into 10 to the power negative 9 meter cube. Okay, we got the volume of the ball bearing. So once you know the volume, so that's gonna be mass of the water displaced, mass of whatever the, we can say fluid or the liquid. So I personally like the word fluid. Let's use the word fluid. So here mass of fluid or mass of fluid is given. So we know as an equation, volume equals mass divided by if it's that is not the famous one, we can get the density equals mass divided by volume. So the mass will be density times volume. So once we have it, do we know the density of the mixture? Yes, we do. The density of the mixture is given, which is 1.5 into 10 to the power 3 times 3.05 into 10 to the power negative 9. So which will give us the mass, which is 4.58 into 10 to the power negative 6 kilograms. Okay, so now we have the upthrust. Upthrust is none other than this thing, that's gonna be 4.58 into 10 to the power negative 6 times it by g, which is 9.81. So we would get 4.49 into the power negative 5 Newton. So this is our upthrust. Similarly, getting our W is nothing, which is mass is given, mass of the ball bearing, which is 2.4 into the power negative 5 times 9.81, which will be give us 2.35 into 10 to the power negative 4 Newton. So we got W and we got N. So these are our very famous answers. We got the U and the W. So the viscous force is the difference between these two, as we got here on top. So remember, in this equation we got that our substitution. So viscous force is 2.35 into 10 to the power negative 4 minus 4.49 into 10 to the power negative 5, which is 1.9 into 10 to the power negative 4 Newton. So this is our viscous drag. So that's what they're asking at the end. We can write it as drag force. So this is how the question 15 is completed. So this is not a very hard question, but when the movie is not given, to find the viscous force, we have to come to a calculation like getting the volume and the weight and the upthrust as well. Thank you.